Hello and welcome to today's webinar on SAP Analytics Cloud. My name is Aleksandra Borucka. I am the moderator of today's webinar. By my side, your expert and the one who will guide you through our webinar today, Bartosz Woźniak. Before we start, I want to give you some information. We have about 60 minutes for the webinar. The webinar recording and the slides will be sent to you after webinar by email. If you have questions during the webinar, you can ask them in the navigation window on the right. The answers will be sent to you also after the webinar via email in the next few days. So I start with the idea of SNP in a nutshell, and as I said, Bartosz will guide you through the main part of the webinar. Let's take a look at the SNP. Basically, we call ourselves the transformation company, which means our core business is the transformation of SAP-centric IT environments. We distinguish here ones from economic reasons, which can lead to changes in IT landscapes, and on the other hand, also IT-driven or technical causes, which can play a role here. In other words, if we look at the economic reasons, this may be mergers, acquisitions, sales, spin-offs, general restructuring within the companies. Or, looking at the technical point of view, consolidations, harmonizations, or as for HANA, HANA as a database. Let's have a quick look at the world map. How are we positioned? We are originally from Germany. Our headquarters are located in Heidelberg. We have grown a lot in recent years. We have now over 1,400 employees all over the world. This is a big advantage for us because we can directly serve our customers over several time zones. For example, today's webinar we are running from Poland. Okay, then just a quick look at our SNP transformation portfolio in a nutshell. We have here a new tool which I would like to introduce to you briefly, so-called Crystal Bridge. Crystal Bridge lies above the migration and the technical transformation and prepares you for upcoming projects that you are planning. Crystal Bridge also helps you to make and simulate important decisions, how to implement a particular project and how to transform the system. Crystal Bridge grabs your SAP ERP environment, speeds up your business transformation, and of course minimizes costs and the risks for you. You get easy to understand, intelligent and interactive recommendation, so you do not get long technical reports. It simply gives you a deeper understanding of your ERP landscape, and it simply changes your approach, for example, for mergers and acquisitions or upgrade projects. Here is a short list of our certifications and standards. I don't want to read out everything here. You can see that we are certified and also partnered in many ways, and our software approach is also certified, so we can take a closer look at it when you want to. That's it to the SNP from my side, so I would like to hand over to Bartosz and hope you enjoy the webinar.
Hello, my name is Bartosz Woźniak. I'm team lead of BI and BW team, and today's agenda is as follows. So we will talk about what is cloud in general and software as a service, why it's worth to be in the cloud. Then we will distinguish between private and public one, and afterwards we will also answer, is it secure to store your data within the cloud? So first 4 points will be in general about the cloud and what is it, and starting from point 5 onwards we will talk about SAP Analytics Cloud as a solution. We will answer your questions about existing on-premise investment and how you could build on with use of SAP Analytics Cloud. Then we will go to the live demo, and we will also during this presentation discuss how to start rapidly there is some 30-day or 60-day trial possibility. So what is cloud and software as a service? So in simplest terms, cloud computing means storing and accessing data and programs over the internet instead of your computer's hard drive. The cloud is just a metaphor for the internet. When you use a private computer, in most cases, you store data and run programs from the hard drive. That's called local storage and local computing. In business cases, you mainly use and work off your hard drive over the local network, and you connect to remote computer or remote server. But that's still not to be considered cloud computing. You need to access your data or your programs over the internet, or at least you have the data synced with other information over the web. So to make it short, it's to use your applications and data over the internet. One of the usage types is of the cloud is software as a service, where the business subscribes to an application, it accesses it over the internet. Customers can access software as a service applications right from the web browser, which means there is no hardware or software to buy, install, maintain, or update. The software as a service provider takes care of everything, and the customers always has the latest version of the application. There is also platform as a service possibility, or let's say use pattern, where a business can create its own custom applications for use and for use within the company. So from end user or business user perspective, this technical part does not matter or should not matter, and that's why, or that is the main advantage of software as a service. In the current slide, you can see black marked advantages of cloud in general and blue marked advantages of SAP Analytics Cloud specifically. So the first value is elasticity. So you can scale up or scale down quickly to meet your computing demand. It's also affordable, so you only pay for what you use, therefore you minimize your hardware and IT costs. It is available 24/7, and you can access it from anywhere on any device. It is simple because it's your IT, it's free from managing servers and updating software. The updates are made without customers' involvement, and under innovation, you will receive with SAP Analytics Cloud updates every 2 weeks. Therefore, you still have the newest features, let's say, out of the box. And let's say this innovation and 2-week updates is also referring specifically to SAP Analytics Cloud, but the following points are also, let's say, assigned to SAP Analytics Cloud, so that will be leveraging existing on-premise investments. There is often a question asked, does SAP Analytics Cloud replace on-premise business objects, BPC, or predictive environments? And the answer is no, definitely not. It extends your investment and your use cases. For example, you can use digital boardroom or embedded analytics, and it also will build some kind of, let's say, bridges between them. You can use Analytics Hub, so it's kind of portal, one single entry point, but you can also connect to business objects universes, or you can use business planning and consolidation models. You have also all analytical capabilities. I mean, reporting, planning and prediction in one offering, in one software as a service offering. So SAP is the only provider that enables this. Having just one product, one entry point, this increases analytics adoptions. On average, less than 20% of employees have access to analytics in company, and there are often questions, where can I find the analytics I need? And therefore, sometimes end users build their own analytics solutions. These analytics are scattered around in different systems. Often, because of this fragmentation, users don't know the link. They may not have a logon, I mean logon or login, or they may not be authorized to view this analytics. And as a result, there is a more and more analytics content often built by end users outside systems, often with little documentation on the data source used, how the measures are calculated, or how the data is filtered. There is no need to replicate data into SAP Analytics Cloud. This is a big advantage when compared to our competitors. Often you, in other solutions not provided by SAP, you need to replicate or import this data into the cloud or into the separate warehouse solution. And here we have live connectivity to S4HANA on-premise. We have also live connectivity, for example, for BW for HANA or universes. The stars means that there is also option to report on imported data. I will talk about this later, but we have also this live near real-time reporting capability. And broad industry and line of business content. SAP has delivered so-called business content, so you will receive access to the content which you may use as a pattern or as a template, and then quickly modify it and adapt to your needs. Going to differentiation between private and public cloud. Cloud adopters want to know, in most cases, which approach is most likely to give them better performance, greater flexibility, stronger security, and lower cost to operate. A private cloud hosting solution is often known as internal or enterprise cloud, resides on company's intranet or hosted data center, well, where all of your data is protected behind a firewall. This can be a great option for companies who already have expensive data centers because they can use the current infrastructure. However, the main drawback people see with a private cloud is that all management, maintenance, and updating of data centers is the responsibility of the company. Over time, it's also expected that your servers will need to be replaced, which can get very expensive. On the other hand, private clouds offer an increased level of security, and they share very few, if any, resources with other organizations. The main differentiator between public and private cloud is that you are not responsible for any of the management of a public cloud hosting solution. Your data is stored in the provider's data center, and the provider is responsible for the management and maintenance of the data center. This type of cloud environment is appealing to many companies because it reduces the lead time in testing and deployment of new products. However, the drawback is that many companies feel security could be lacking with a public cloud. Even though you don't control the security of a public cloud, all of your data remains separate from others, and security breaches of public clouds are very rare. So just to mention, there is no private cloud for SAP Analytics Cloud. SAP Analytics Cloud is only offered in a public cloud version. You may also imagine that there is a hybrid scenario which combines your on-premise investment, for example, in S4HANA, and S4HANA will be then a source for public cloud SAP Analytics Cloud solution. You may also consider if it's safe to store your data in some data center outside your company. All of operations made within such a data center, we know that very well, as we also own our data center in S&P Group. All operations are certified. You have access for a fraction of cost to the world-class data centers and world-class experts when it comes to equipment, hardware, architecture, or, for example, networking security issues. You do not need to take care about data backups. You do not need to take care about power supply backups, internet connection backups. It's simply on the provider side. So this is a diagram about live connection. So there is no data duplication from the source system to the cloud. So from your personal computer, you are within domain, so you need to use VPN to access SAP Analytics Cloud, and with use of the reverse proxy, you will be then connected to SAP Analytics Cloud, but the data is not passed to cloud, only metadata, so only the structure of what you are willing to report. This reverse proxy will then request your database regardless of what is it. So it might be HANA, BW, Universe, S4, and then it will also authorize you with the SAML certificate. And this SAP Cloud identity is just for this. But let's say the most popular option is to have access to your cloud from everywhere, every time. So it's rather with the use of web browser accessed from the public internet network. Therefore, you have here two firewalls, one to access this reverse proxy and your customer domain, and the second one to access from your domain to SAP Analytics Cloud. This is the second option for the live connection where the data is not stored in the cloud. But if you would like to import data into the cloud, it's also possible, and it might be accessible from the public internet. You simply need to use SAP Analytics Agent, which is, let's say, kind of driver to access your data sources, and then to use SAP Cloud Connector to create a tunnel connection, VPN connection to cloud platform. So when we talk about SAP Analytics Cloud, we have four main pillars of this solution. That will be business intelligence, visualization and reporting, planning, predictive and application design. We will not talk about application design because this is a very broad topic and it's not covered in this webinar, but we will cover these three. Starting with BI, it's to connect and prepare your data. You may connect to the cloud and on-premise data and build your own models from your browser, so there is no need to install any front-end solutions on your local computer. It supports live and acquired connectivity, so you may connect live to SAP, BW, BW4HANA, S4HANA. You may also connect to non-SAP sources. And if you use imported version of the connection, you may blend and aggregate data as you wish. This, let's say, functionality also may be used to visualize and create stories and reports. Everything is done online through the web browser. With the use of this visualization, you may also add some simple location analytics with the help of maps, and you may then present this as a dashboard or story. You may share whatever you would like to share, so we have collaboration features like discussion. All of these dashboards may be designed for a multi-touch responsive mobile experience, and within SAP Analytics Cloud you may use permissions to control who can view and edit your analytics. You may import also these roles or authorizations from BW, but there is also built-in functionality. Regarding planning, we have top-down, bottom-up, and departmental planning. You may plan based on hierarchy node or based on leaf levels. You may use cut and paste functionality just like an Excel user. Thanks to direct integration into SAP BPC, you may align your departmental planning or sales planning with finance planning, and then may write back to SAP BPC. There is also wide range of simulation possibilities. You may create what-if analysis with the use of a slider, or you may save your version as a private version of the plan and publish it only when it's ready for a public, and you decide about this. You do not need to break some public version. You may also visualize some kind of KPI or an item within your finance statement to see how it will affect your plans downstream. So it's a functionality called value driver tree, where you are able to track the impact of some fraction of some figure, which will then result in a bigger position or which influence some KPI. Then we go to predictive functions. You have smart discovery. So these are, let's say, hints based on the context. You may predict the outcome of a particular KPI or record value based on historical data. This feature has been called as a smart discoveries simulation. You may also receive so-called smart insights. So if you click on a data point, you may get the smart and visual insights. Okay. Sorry. We can go then to the, let's say, middle part of the slide. So for SAP Analytics Cloud, we have, let's say, 3 other pillars. That will be Digital Boardroom, Mobile Use, and SAP Analytics Hub. So Digital Boardroom is a SAP Analytics Cloud application which supports, let's say, steering excellence across all line of business. So it's for your management meetings where you can present and interact with reports or planning during your boardroom meetings. There is, for Digital Boardroom, there is a single or multiple screen approach. You may have, for example, 3 linked dashboards displayed and interact with each other. A mobile experience, it's what I already mentioned. This is availability of all these reports to be displayed with responsive layout and multi-touch technology on mobile devices. And SAP Analytics Hub is some kind of successor of SAP Portal, but there is no longer restriction to only SAP-based content. You may link any document. This is just like a web-based, HTML-based page, which should be used as a single point of access for on-premise and cloud analytics, and let's say provide a unified user experience independent of the content or deployment type. We have also tight integration with SAP Analytics with Microsoft Office or Microsoft Excel in general, in particular. You will receive SAP Analysis for Office as a part of SAP Analytics Cloud monthly fee. So you receive such a license, and you may have the Excel experience based on SAP Analytics Cloud data. You may consume these models, and let's say the workflow is as it was before, so as it was in a standard analysis for Office tool. So you will start and end within Excel, so you will log on, browse, and discover data from Excel level. This is often question often asked by customers, how we can leverage our on-premise investment with SAP Analytics Cloud. As you can see on this slide, there are multiple live connection possibilities. This is a real screenshot taken from the live system. So we have HANA, BW, S4HANA, and Universe connection possibilities. And for imported data, we have also a bunch of. We have also SAP BPC or SAP ERP systems. You may extend your business objects enterprise by connecting to universes. You may also use current existing BPC and to import them into SAP Analytics Cloud, and then after wrangling with this data, for example, making some predictions, making some planning, you may write back to BPC. We have also additional functionalities based on predictive analytics, where you can, let's say, build on time series forecasting and R language integration. We can now move to our live demo. What I have planned is just a short demo for planning. So you access SAP Analytics Cloud through a web browser. And what you can see here is a welcome screen. You have the full flexibility to adjust this welcome screen, set your, let's say, create tiles with the KPIs as you can see here, or you can create tiles as a link to your favorite reports, or you may, as here, have a list of recent stories. I will show you some demo dashboards available here. So these features are like in Lumira, so you may consume through visualization your data. After clicking, you may compare what's the difference, and it's dynamic. You may also go through a smart insight, sorry. So using this smart insight, we may analyze average gross margin in California. And you can see that orange with pulp is responsible for the vast majority of the income. Is the product contributor over 1,000 above the average. And if you would like to see who is selling, who is working for this outcome, so we should maybe ask Kiran Rai, how did he manage to provide such an excellent outcome, as he is 133% above average. As you can see, there are a lot of ranking options, sorting options. You may comment on this, as we have a lot of these collaborations features. What you can see also here is notification pane. So you may go and have a look that your system has been updated, and after such an update, you will receive an information that that there are new features, and what are they. As you can see, some user has shared a story with me. I can see that there is some store sales overview. It's very helpful. You can simply collaborate on this. Going back to our, let's say, main demo, I would like to plan So imagine I would like to plan by product, and I'm within a healthcare business. So I'm like a part of pharmacy and part of drugstore. You may buy vitamins, or you may buy some medicines as you wish. I would like to, let's say, go active, therefore I will go to edit view. First of all, my task is to make a forecast for 2019. I would like to, based on the current year forecast, we can see that the current value is 7 million, because the values are in $1,000. Therefore, we need to, for example, we would like to check what's the difference. It's simply just to select these two cells, and it will subtract these two values. But imagine I would like to start planning 2019 by copying this value as a base. First of all, as I'm just planning for my forecast, I would like to hide this. I do not need this. Okay, and by copying and pasting, I'm able to it's here. I'm able to copy these plan values and I already have a base for planning. It's I would like now to restrict this spreadsheet just for skincare because I'm a skincare manager. As you can see, this hierarchy doesn't have to be with the same level every time. Here I have directly my products and here I have some hierarchy nodes and afterwards the products. Imagine that I would like restricted only for skincare. It's done. I would like to hide 2019. It's done. What I would like to do now is to use this forecast version and let's say create my own version just to play around with this. So I can use one of the public versions, the forecast version. I would like to copy it and name it and that will be my plan. Afterwards, so I'm already having my private version and I would like to increase sales in third quarter. One sec, I will just reorganize this by drag and drop. And it's now clear that I'm working on my version in 2019. I may leave this as a comparison. And I would like to increase sales or planned sales within August for the sun care products. Let's say I would like to increase it by 30%. I simply type plus 30% and that will already calculate through the leaf levels. So the positions without any provided value, they have not been calculated, but if I would like to provide any value here, let's say 20,000, it's simply there. And after making any change, you will be pointed the place where it's places that have been affected. So as you can see, I have just increased Nivea Sun Kits sales by 20,000, but it will affect positively sun care product branch, and in general it will also increase quarter 3 when it comes to sales. We may also distribute some values with the use of locking cells. So I know that, for example, La Roche will not be available within these 3 months because they have some issues with manufacturing. So I would like to lock these cells and then add to this category plus 10,000. So this has been distributed over existing products, but the locked cells remain unchanged. Imagine that I would like also to add a new product. Usually for example, I have information that some ultrasound professional protection specific will be available from next year, and I would like to include this into my forecast or into my plan. Usually, you would like to create it on your own, but with current solutions, it is very often that you need to ask IT to create master data, so to create a further item for Suncare. With our solution, or with solution delivered by SAP, that's no longer necessary. As you may go to the designer, we would like to display description as it is, and then display ID of a product, just to add, let's say, to keep consistency, not to mess within the system. So I go to display option, display ID and description, and I can see that my last product is PRD 0026, so why not to create the next one, like here. So first I will add ID, that will be PRD 0027. I would like to add this at the same level as the mark itself, and I will provide a description. And I will apply. As you can see, this is already available. It just it's shown that this has been not yet saved, but you may already plan on these values. Let's add, let's say, that will be a selling selling opportunity, very big one, at 25,000. Okay, we need to take out this locking mechanism. So it has been updated to the, let's say, online added master data, new product. What I would like to show you is that we may also use these predictive functions to predict values for sales for fourth quarter. One thing to mention is, as you can see, this is one tool. We do not distinguish between multiple tools for prediction, for planning, for reporting. It's simply one product, and all the, let's say, capabilities, for example, planning feature, or for example, forecasting feature, is embedded in the product. We are not switching between these products in the cloud. So that's a real game changer. Imagine that I would like to plan fourth quarter, and just to have some different results, I will say we will make a prediction based on following values which aren't changing right now. And we would like to forecast for the fourth quarter for LIPS. We may use this predictive forecast. And I would like to forecast by month. It will take make a forecast for October till December. We may preview what's proposed. And as you can see, system has discovered that there is a drop in sales. So it will not ask you to increase the sales as something is going on on the market or within the organization. Maybe within the classic planning, we would see, let's say, a request to increase the sales 10% every year. But this is kind of politics within organization or within department. And with, let's say, data-driven forecast, you can see that this is what you could achieve. You may almost exceed your current result, but let's say the most probably you will receive only 80,000 on the sales of the lipsticks. You may accept this, and these values are provided into Q4 and then distributed only within lips and specific ones. It's not based on the quarter only, but this has been distributed equally over months. If it would see some history data and some peak in the last month, he will also say maybe there is some December effect or Christmas Eve effect where the, let's say, sales of some specific product is rising very high. So that would be also reflected with this predictive mechanism. What we could do is to save this version from the public or from the private. I mean, you have this. What we have done is to play with this data within a private version, and now we would like to make it available for everyone within the organization. So we can click Save As. And it's already available for everyone who has authorization. From the collaboration features, you may add, for a cell level, you may add comments. You may ask your business partners, or you may ask your colleagues to check or verify values or check if the product is on stock. So that's my login. Yep. And you can see the description. You may also track this comments. I mean, in general, you may add the comment to the whole story. So the comments may be placed to the cell, to the story itself, or it may be placed as a discussion. I will now create a discussion. One sec. Just would like to add John Smith to discuss with me this planning. Because he's responsible for a skincare or for a face product. Next things are within the SAP Analytics Cloud. We have a calendar where we can plan. Let's name it. Okay, save it. We have a calendar saying, okay, which activities we have planned and what has been planned within these activities, who has been assigned. For example, we have a sales planning task that will start on the 15th of October, will end on 22nd of October. I'm the owner, but Mr. Jan has been assigned to deliver this task. We may set up reminders, we may set up provide memos. So it's really powerful tool to collaborate and to plan. I can see we have some couple of questions. We won't be able to answer all of them. Yes. So the question was, is it only for finance planning? No, it's not only for finance planning. You may plan everything as you wish. So you may plan sales or revenue. You may plan, for example, cost of goods sold. It might be also integrated with HR systems. You might plan headcount, salaries, HR expenses. It might be very well integrated with a Concur cloud system, so you may plan travel and expenses. But also, as usual, let's say finance reports like balance sheet or cash flow, that's a very good tool to plan. So there is a second question, what's the value of moving to SAP Analytics Cloud if my on-premise investments are working great? So it's, first of all, you will gain from all of these aspects which I've shown on the second or third slide. But in short, you will gain from the simplicity. You have single analytics cloud platform for all analytics capabilities. You receive every 2 weeks new features and all bugs which are, let's say, in every solution will be fixed very easily and very fast. And you do not need to, let's say, worry about your IT being the bottleneck. Yes, I believe, okay, I will go back to the, let's say, our PowerPoint to show how to quickly start. So the question how to quickly start, you have a lot of business content which is available free of charge if you pay for the monthly fee. We have solutions available based on lines of business and industries. So it's available, as I said, for human resources. In this case, it's for success factors. But if you have some vendor management or, let's say, working agency, you may also use SAP Fieldglass. But let's say the maybe key takeaway is that you may request 30-day trial, which, let's say, this trial request is available under this link, which is displayed on the slide. And when you would like to see every, let's say, what's currently available, you may go to this link, and it's maybe it's updated, let's say, periodically. You can see on the slide examples of the dashboards which are available within the content, so it's really a lot of work. You may simply use it if you are based on S/4HANA, so you will have the same tables, the same data structure, or you may use them and slightly change them to adjust to the data structure underneath. So I believe that concludes our meeting today. Thank you very much for your questions. We will answer them after the meeting using mail or our contacts. Thank you very much, and hope to see see you during our next webinars based on analytics.
Thank you, Bartosz, and thank you. Bye-bye.